Thank you so much to Malvern Books, first and foremost for existing. Yeah. It really makes all the difference, right, to have a bookstore like this in town. And thanks for having us today. Built for it. Maybe age or some other slow cooling of the limbs one day will will me from the water, from this desire to plunge my body in. I tried hot yoga once, thinks the fireman on the park bench overlooking the sea. To be honest, he says, it felt like we were wearing full gear in a house fire. You should try Bikram, says the mother in workout clothes, taking a sticker for her kid. Whose motives are ever pure? Let's face it, tennis is mostly about the outfits, even if it is what taught me how to go for the other girl's jugular, that I should, even with her daddy watching. Want rings out in the house of the self, and in the self must live. It's Friday morning and I know what I'm doing here, but what's everyone else's excuse? There's everything and nothing to want from the sea who does not answer. Complete refusal transforms itself into a kind of total acceptance, at least so it seems, because one way or another our voices travel away from us, and this is a relief. Code red, the children scream every time they spy a crab. Dozens of men are killed, says the paper, and their wives are kept for single soldiers of the day's conquering. Killed, we say, if a war zone. Kept, we say, if a woman. Love, love, we say, when the score is 0. Irrelevant, says the sea, into which everything we throw away ends up. Words. This poem borrows its title, this next one, its title and a line that I think you won't have any trouble identifying because it's the best one, from a job letter written by Leonardo da Vinci, where the use of canon is impractical. Stranger, mislaid love, I will sleepwalk all night, not girlish, but zombie-like, zombie light, through the streets in search of your arms. Let's meet at dawn in the park to practice an ancient art, while people roll by in the latest space-age gear, blank as mirrors above the procedure, in the stainless steel theaters where paper-gowned we take ourselves to take ourselves apart. Tap, tap, spark. So little blazes. Cover the roofs with precision hooves, push back the forest like a blanket. A bird the right color is invisible, only movement catches the eye. My most illustrious lord, I know how to remove water from moats and how to make an infinite number of bridges. Here we are at the palace. Here we are in the dark, dark woods. It's kind of comforting that Da Vinci had to write letters selling his services the way a few of us may have done once or twice in our lives. Can you hear me? Ish? Good enough? So, Oliver Sacks done to me, right? Yeah. You've probably seen this quote, it's been traveling around, but I've always thought a lot about it, where he says how every act of perception is an act of creation, and every act of memory is an act of imagination. And today when I saw that quote, I also thought about how in some way, and forgive possibly the maudlinness, but how often every poem is in part an elegy, which I think connects to the idea of memory and imagination. So this one is both actually and not quite an elegy for a friend. Possibility of repair. Now we grieve waving fuzzy avatars in the clotted air, virtual mourners lining up to testify to a glimpse of a wisp of your hair. Bunch of phonies, you might say. Where were you when the fox got stumbling drunk on mulberry wine, when the cat caught and released that woodpecker onto the crooked ladder of my perfect spine? Ham and cheese on a hillock were before us, mohawks and mountain lions and countless freshmen, and maybe a few freedmen once sled, some soggy children, a lost spiritualist or two, late to the orgy, their donkey having taken a wrong turn early on. but you know what they say about all paths winding up the same hill. Overcomplicated, the hooks and latches on this brazier, by which I mean embrace. Beloved nobodies, deranged neighbors, doppelgangers every one, who among us is willing to look with proper awe at the gossamer fawn newly pushed from its flesh palace into the wrong season's brisk air. Snowflake, turn out that blue light. Somehow we've ended up in the yard again, counting turkeys by hindsight. Saintly they'll be martyred beneath the paling sun. Come on, we whisper to the near disappeared. Come on, come out, come up. Okay then, we say, go on. Some boats are made for one. I said flesh palace. Here. On the same day, my son, who's 7, got a stuffed animal that was like a harbor seal that had its baby seal in like a pouch, as if the seal was actually a kangaroo. And I tried very hard to get him to name it Miss Uterus. He would not. Nothing good gets away. Shitty little mockingbird on the parking lot cell phone tower, we'll take it, your flashes of bright white. We know all about bowers and their blue obsessions, crows and their shiny. There's a girl flickering across the news some murder brings presents to. She's not dead, she's not even sick yet. Arrow-hugging, sign-pocked roof lines, once upon a forest, we modeled trajectory on your shooting flight, then we positioned our guns to put you in their sights. Shot through. In Hollywood, it looks like this. Sped up, slowed down, wearily fallen over. You wake with a needle in your arm, a spider in the soup of the blood, a doctor rebandaging your ripped up wrists. No matter how kindly the face, there's no fix for this. Time had a beginning. Wouldn't that be nice? A movie just waiting to be made. Everyone else's fingers stroke smoothly their chosen spines, but not mine. Let's say this is temporary. In the fire, we know the sun. Some particles do in fact escape. The littlest has done it. Look at the lap she sits in now. In this vortex, we are the chaos crumbs, the sparks peeling off, falling cold. That's a long story. No matter what, the assistant is always the most beleaguered one. She fought it. I nursed her. Of course I loved her. I thought it would alleviate my own situation. This tent, a flimsy idea, became our home. These liberties we took, we take. Let's try. Arrangements. It's November, so we're talking politics, and I've been personally selected to hear from Mark Ruffalo what it was he dreamt last night. This is when I begin to imagine his beautiful, blurred head sinking into and somehow floating above a pillow very white, and his beautiful, blurred children, but no thank you, no wife, because if not here, then where exactly am I supposed to insert myself? And if we're talking movie stars, Mark seems to be doing it right. At least anyone who still manages to be sexy, even when you know you're being played, must be the good kind of wrong. Imagine, Mark writes. Imagine is what he dreamt last night. Imagine a world. And then I lost track of what he was so artfully made to be saying, but dinner was involved, and a chance at something, a chance for something, a chance. Mark, what if by chance I met my true love when I was too young to know to keep him? Mark, what if by character or by foolishness or by fate, sometimes good people are inexorably drawn toward their own demise? Marked by desire is usually code for something catastrophic, and even when we try to focus with quiet minds and pursue the animal feelings within us with only the most measured sighs, so often something catastrophic is what turns up in the late light of early night, like you did on Annette Bening's porch in that movie. And even as a loser, Mark, you were sexy, but less so. I'd be lying if I didn't admit. Line, please. Just give me a hint. Actually, let's take 10. I need a little time alone in my trailer. Sometimes we arrange in our minds 1,000 goodbyes. By arrangement, a funeral publicly can be held to honor a body not present, or privately for somebody technically not dead yet. Final arrangements may be made in advance and locked in a drawer in a sealed envelope with "to be opened in the event of my death" scrawled elegantly across the scene. Imagine, the next email in my queue details arrangements being made to honor a man who made arrangements for the dispersal of his modest assets by embedding subtle clues only his family would detect in the arrangement of the phrases of what turned out to be, and probably he knew it, a farewell letter his cellmate memorized the night before his ransom came through. The cellmate's mark. Like so many of the best parts of ourselves, like so many of the characters we like to watch you play, he was the good one left behind. Blue Water Navy. Darling, the world, it will come at you with the migrating eyes of flounder, traveling through the matter of their own heads, having reimagined axis and ground. There is a certain parasite that turns a crab from male to female, or is it female to male? The average male armadillo's penis is larger than that of some gorillas. I can't help it if most facts are, in fact, facts about sex. Don't bother pretending, don't try to fix this for me. We acquire debt. An animal is able to live in captivity, which is where we take our measurements. Watching them go at it, sometimes we like to say outgunned, outmanned, but definitely not outfought. What we like is the idea of making the invisible visible. True love takes a lifetime of research. The foot of the lake meets the mouth of the river. Thank you so much.